I'm looking at
All right, we're live.
Okay.
We're hot. See how well it works this week. He zooms in on one of our crotches. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. I'm your host, Steve Markey, and always with my co-host,
Charles is here.
And today we have a special guest who may or may not be able to hear half of this.
We're going to have a sign language interpreter.
Dave Markey. No other than Dave Markey.
The old man.
Say hello, old man.
the one and only.
Steve's already confused.
Yeah, I'm getting updates from my daughter's iPad. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on here? So we're going to start off today, and I brought you a treat, Dad. I hope you like it.
All right.
Grab those, Charles. Hand them out.
All right.
We're going to start off today with a little taste test here. This is called...
So this is like Red's at Blueberry Ale, the same people that make the Apple Ale, right?
Yep. Here you go. Have a blueberry.
Thank you.
A blueberry beer.
Nope,
Since
I
we
just hit my
were
mic with
picking blueberries up north on vacation. Good to see you waited.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on the blueberry ale?
You take it right to the head as soon as he opens it up. There's just no twisties? It's got a... No, it's a twisty.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes these Reds aren't.
Did you steal this from your kitchen? This
Yes,
bottle
yes.
of...
I got to take that back.
I like all the ales.
It's very blueberry. I don't know if people can see it. Red's blueberry.
Is this
ale.
a seasonal one, I wonder? Is this
think
like
so.
a...
I found it at
all the time?
All the time. All the blueberries you can pick and eat.
Where would we be without your vast blueberry knowledge?
Well, yeah, I got some about a month ago.
You've had this before?
No, blueberry knowledge, not the damn beer. Pay attention.
So what did you think of the beer? Would you buy it again?
I didn't buy it in the first place.
He's breaking balls.
I regret this already.
Sure, I might buy it.
I like...
If I
Their
get,
ales and stuff are pretty good. It tastes kind of like alcoholic juice, though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, it's not
like
really...
an alcoholic juice box.
Yeah, that's a Boku. It was Richard Lewis.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's really sweet. It's not dry. I hate apple ales or like hard ciders that get really dry, and because like the Angry Orchard ones and stuff like that, they taste terrible. I don't know if you've ever had those before.
No, I've not.
I guess,
I've had them.
yeah, so there's no sweetness to it at all, and like how I attribute like apples, apple juice is kind of sweet, but not those Angry Orchards are awful.
Has anyone here had the Bud Light Orange yet?
Yeah,
No.
I have. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Is it similar to that?
It's not as sweet, so it's more pushes towards like beer taste, than that is more juice taste.
Mm.
Yeah, at least it's not that nasty stout, that dark.
The beer you
Tar
could
water.
The
Yeah,
beer you
I
could
hate
chew.
stouts.
That
So gross.
motor oil, yeah.
I like Dragon's Milk, that New Holland one. Do you ever try that
Dragon's
one?
I never knew what the hell is Dragon's
It's stout beer that's aged in bourbon barrels, I believe. It's aged in some kind of barrel, but it picks up kind of the sweetness off the barrel. It tastes
yeah?
much better. Yeah, it's
I see
expensive
it
though.
on the menu. I didn't know what the hell
Yeah,
it was.
it's good. They have two. They also age one of them in rum too, in rum barrels. That one tasted good too. But it's expensive. It's like $15 for a 4-pack because they age it and stuff
They
like that.
take the two. They take two away from you. Only give you
Yeah,
a
but if
4-pack?
it comes out of there, it's like tar water. I mean, it is crazy.
I ain't paying $15 for that.
It's
$15
high
for
alcohol
the
too
beer
because
you
it's
could choose.
aged. I want to say it's like a 12% alcohol or something. Like it's
I can get
bordering
15 cores and have money left over.
15 cores.
How many Milwaukee's Best can you get for that much?
There's a way,
Oh, I like them, but this blueberry ale one's pretty good. I don't know, but it's
It's
kind of
not
like
bad. I'd drink
it's
it.
alcoholic juice.
Yeah, good for the kids. So I assume you've listened to a couple of these podcasts, right? So what are your thoughts on this
When you can find it.
stupidity that we've done so far?
I don't understand it. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody listens to this.
You are correct on the second one. No one listened.
So,
We're
I guess
wasting
so.
our time, but in your old age, you need a hobby, and here we are.
Yeah,
But
I
I-
guess this is a hobby. Yeah,
I
that
did
works.
catch your comment you left on the website, fatguyslittlepodcast.com,
Oh.
about F bowling.
Come on, bowling. Come on, who the hell cares? That's just something you do to get an excuse to get drunk.
Yeah.
Bring your kids, the wife, and you try to
No,
pick up
man.
some other guy's wife. That's the whole point of bowling.
It's part swinger / bowling.
It's never. It never held any real appeal for
If
me.
bowling was that exciting, a lot more people would be going. I'll tell you that much. None of that happens.
I don't know about. I enjoy bowling. We went on vacation, and you bowed out. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'd rather stay there and on the beach, watch the water, and check out all the women getting drunk.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to see bowling.
I guess you won.
So those of you who may or may not know, Dave works for the ever stellar Tiger organization. And what is it like being an usher for the Little Caesar?
Well, he's
Kids?
like every other
Now, wait a
100-year-old
minute,
man
wait a
as an
minute.
usher.
I'm not an usher.
Oh,
Let's get this correct now.
Okay.
He's security
I'm a
enforcement.
crowd manager.
What crowd are you managing?
What is the difference?
It's a crowd manager, security.
Oh, so he gets a yellow blazer as opposed to a blue blazer.
No, mine are medium blue.
Oh, medium blue.
Yeah, like a TSA blue.
And then what color's the usher? Dark blue.
Orange.
Oh.
How do you not know this, Charles?
Which do they get paid more? Do you get paid more as a security person over the usher?
No, I'm right on the bottom as far as the pay scale goes. Everybody's above
Well,
me.
that checks out.
Even the people, I think even the people selling hot dogs are above me. You know? But that's all right.
You still get to do the garage
Yeah.
in the basement. For all you don't know, he gets to handle the players' garage, which is pretty cool. If
I
you're a
don't think
big
he's-
Tigers fan, you
yeah.
get to see the players and stuff. funny fact though is you could care less, right? Talking to the players.
Yeah, really, it doesn't. They're just people, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know, you talk a little bit to them, they talk back. You know, they have good days, bad days, but
A lot of bad days in Detroit
Well,
Tiger
yeah.
baseball right
but,
now.
well, it's not the Lions. That would have to be the bottom of the
Yeah.
heap. Those people got to be in the dumpers all the time.
Yeah.
What's it like on opening day down there when you have to usher?
They're all drunk.
Is it like a crazy house down
Yeah,
there?
it's just an excuse for people to get drunk, like any tailgating for any.
They pregame quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll dig up part of the blacktop, start a fire, keep warm. and-
When in doubt, you dig up the blacktop.
yeah, I've seen.
How do
them
they do that?
They break up. All the lots have been repaved now, so they're pretty good. But when I first started, that first opening day, they were breaking up chunks of blacktop, making fires there.
In the hole.
Yeah,
You're just digging a fire pit.
Is that legal?
they got away with it. Do you think DPD cares about anything?
Yeah.
No.
So,
There's only like 8 police officers down there for that.
yeah, we got all 8 of them, and they're usually inside drinking coffee and eating hot dogs.
So the other day on that great Monday night debacle of the Lions, there was the Lions and Tigers down there. What was it like that day with both games in?
Oh, that was crazy because the Lions, they had bands down there. They had people playing drums. And, of course, all the Lion fans were screaming and yelling.
That was when they had hope.
Yeah, they're putting their
Before the
fists in the
kickoff.
air. They were just,
The Patricia era started and it ended pretty swiftly.
yeah, they were all with it. They were all just screaming and going crazy, chasing people. And then about the third quarter, when the Tiger game was over and I was getting ready to leave, they were all streaming out. And it was a very silent crowd.
Not a lot of noise coming out of them, huh?
Yeah, so I guess it must have been that 40-something score that had something to do with it.
Well, when you're getting blown out like that.
Yeah, typical Lion Day, blowout. We don't care.
On national TV, no less.
Oh, absolutely,
How
on a Monday
bad?
night.
How bad does that affect you getting home? Like when all these events like let out.
I have several different routes to take home.
Oh, so you have like alternates. You like break out an
I have
alternate.
to go from one to the other until I eventually get a break to where I can get towards the house.
Jeez, what's the longest it's taking you to get home?
That Beyonce concert,
That kicked your butt. There was a
Yeah.
bunch of
because I ended up on Gratiot.
Usually it only takes you, what, 15, 20 minutes to get home from down there on a good
Yeah.
day?
How about
And then
that?
how bad was the Beyonce day? Like 45, 50 minutes?
Once I got out of downtown, I was flying.
But it was
I
impossible.
could get home in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's getting out of downtown.
It's not set up well. And they're just adding more stuff and more stuff. They
It's
put in.
Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, they tell you Detroit's on a rebound, but you know what? You move a block away from like Comerica Park or Ford Field.
That whole downtown area.
It's a battlefield.
Yeah, the core part.
Yeah, nothing's been changed.
Is there still a lot of construction?
Yeah, there's construction down there. But I mean, that's slacking off now because season's over.
Yeah.
I mean, because they got the Pepperoni Palace over there.
That's Little Caesars Arena to the uninitiated.
Well, you know, that's where the Pistons and the
Red
Wings are playing. So
I mean, that's all 4 major sports teams are all downtown.
Yeah, they're all downtown.
And then the soccer team is going to go in the old jail, right? Isn't that
Who cares about soccer?
Yeah, but that soccer team.
You know, soccer's a European sport. It's un-American. It shouldn't even be here. You know that.
Speaking of un-American, you served some time as TSA. How did you enjoy your time as TSA?
That place is a living hell. It's a lunatic. It's a breeding ground for idiots.
Yeah, and they get paid really well.
They do.
It's unbelievable. It's one of those federal government things, man.
If you can get into the bureaucracy, you got it made.
Yeah.
And how many years were you part-time working for them?
About 6 years.
Jeez.
They don't hire anyone full-time initially because they play the benefit game and all that kind of stuff,
Well, they
too.
were having to when I retired because they were running so short of people. Because everybody quit or retired or just got away.
That's because the average age of a TSA agent, you're either 15 or 115.
Yeah.
There's no in between. And then they both have the mindset of like, one's a 15-year-old kid who doesn't know what he's doing, and then one's 115 that overthinks everything.
Well, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of laughs out of that place.
Ugh,
There's a lot of funny things that happened there.
Most useless organization.
Yeah, well.
Security theater at its finest. It's
it
so
was,
useless.
Exactly. That's what a lot of...
Look, you're safe because grandma went through someone's bags. Like, no.
Well, not only that. You get some old lady, she can't stand up in a body
Scan.
imager.
Yeah.
And all these boxes show up, so they give grandma the once-over, you know? And
Well, grandma's going to blow the place up, right?
Yeah, you got an 80-year-old woman who can't, because she can't stand up straight.
She got a metal hip.
Yeah, metal hips and all these problems. So they give her the once-over. I used to look at the poor old lady's getting filled up and patted down. I just think, she's 80-some. What is she going to do?
They're saving TSA. This is why you didn't fit in. TSA's saving America. And you don't think that they're saving America by patting down that 80-year-old woman.
You notice how many times I've flown since I left there, don't you? I haven't been on a plane since.
Yeah,
Did you guys ever actually catch anything like a knife or a gun?
They can't do anything if they find anything. They're useless.
You have to turn it over to Wayne County. Wayne County Police.
The airport authority.
Yeah, the airport cops.
And they're sitting at they're sitting at the checkpoint. So the checkpoint that's in the hotel is there's always a police officer at the exit of it.
Gotta be.
And so the 90-year-old woman who works at TSA, if she actually finds any credible threat, the cop actually has to get off his phone and stop, flirting with the flight attendants.
Down.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a joke. Hate it.
But I got a lot of laughs out of that. I mean, and towards the end, they weren't paying bad either. So
they still aren't. I mean, you make like $19-20 an hour to sit there and scan people.
Yeah.
And the computer does everything, and then they rotate, and everyone wears their blue gloves.
Yeah, you gotta rotate. Every half an hour.
What's the point of the rotate?
Well, so
keep you fresh. Keep you fresh.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't get too
screen dummied
in one position. They move you.
Oh, okay.
And then there's one supervisor who takes their job way too serious and thinks they're saving the country. Yeah. So they're always yelling at me when I'm trying to take a ladder through or something. They're giving my ladder the once-over.
Yeah.
It's such a jerk-off. It's so stupid.
We used to do, yeah. But
like I said, it's all just this illusion of safety. It's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I hate TSA.
We want to make you feel better. If you feel good.
They want to give you the impression that someone's not going to hijack another plane and jack it off into a building. That's what they want to give you the impression of.
Yeah,
and instead, it's just taking the average, American and just annoying the crap out of them and giving them this false sense of security. It's gotta hate TSA. I wish you'd never even brought it up.
I worked for him, you didn't.
Yeah, I know, and I work at the airport with those useless. Oh, TSA should go away.
What a fine organization.
So stupid. And now they're talking like everyone wants like a TSA in high schools. And I'm like, they don't do anything in the airport. You're going to add them into schools? Like, you're going to add this many more like 90-year-old women? Well, because, everyone's convinced that everyone's shooting up a school that, putting a 90-year-old woman at a body scanner is going to save kids.
We were supposed to be able to be, they were supposed to put us in a train stations, cruise ships. Bus stations. We were supposed to be moved to all
And again, you're talking about $20 an hour, like decent coin, at least in Michigan. I'm sure if someone's listening elsewhere, but to do nothing. I mean, a TSA agent can't do anything. They're literally
have no powers to arrest.
They're useless. I mean, I hate TSA.
Well, now we had a good look at that and how much Charles loves them.
Yeah, they made a bigger impression on him than he did on me.
I know. So the summer's about over. Did you get out and get to do any skeet shooting this
sporting clays? Yeah.
Neither one of my sons will go.
Well, my house fell apart. So.
Well, I can't help that if you got hit by a hurricane. That's not my problem. I got 2 cases of 12-gauge shells that neither one of you want to get it.
Hey, I'd go. But again, I'm going to be drywalling for the rest of my life.
Oh, well, we'll have to get it back out there sometime. Probably.
Someday. Somehow.
It's fun.
Are you going to go hunting this year?
Probably small game hunting.
With who?
Myself.
You're going to go alone in the woods with a gun.
Be at home with Kim's mom or go out in the woods.
Do you think the timberdoodles are going to get me or what?
What is a timberdoodle?
Nothing's worse than when those timberdoodles come tracking.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're going to go hunting alone.
Yeah, why?
You're going to... That's
You
crazy.
think Bigfoot's going to snatch me or
No,
what?
but I mean, you should probably have someone else to shoot at or something like that.
Somebody to make a mistake with.
I mean, I don't know.
Where do you go if you go hunting?
It'd be just local down around here.
What, in your backyard? You live in the
do-
city, Dad.
I do have my pellet and BB gun range set up in the garage. So.
I don't know.
Holly loves that pellet and BB gun range.
Hey, yeah, it's great. Got my hay bales out there to catch the BBs.
Why are you going small? You're not going to eat any of that crap. You know what I mean? Like, you're not. If you killed something, what are you going to do with it?
Throw it out.
So what's the point of killing it? If I don't believe that you should be able to hunt unless you can eat it.
I think he has to eat it raw.
You have to eat it raw, its heart and everything.
I don't have a problem eating deer. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but if you're going to go small game hunt, if you're going to shoot at anything, you have to eat it. That's the rule.
You want to eat a crow?
No, I don't hunt. But you have to eat it.
No, I don't have to eat it.
Squirrel jerky coming your way.
I'm telling you.
You leave the damn thing lay, some coon will take it away.
So you just blast it, leave it, and keep it moving?
No, I put them in garbage bags and put them in the garbage.
What the hell is that? There's some hillbilly shaking his fist at this podcast.
Your head. Who could I give a squirrel to?
No one. Don't kill the damn squirrel then. If you're not going to eat it.
I'm not all that worried about, but they do annoy me.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, how often am I going to get it? I've got to go back to work here the 1st of October.
Yeah, you're going to go work for the city of Dearborn stuffing envelopes, correct?
What?
Well,
What is this?
Absentee ballots.
Whatever they have me doing, working in a warehouse or whatever, I don't.
You're working for the city of Dearborn now?
Just for 6 weeks till the election's over.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
So then going into November, I'll take you and we'll go get some squirrels. We'll eat them at Thanksgiving.
Great. Can't wait.
You were always big on squirrel meat anyway.
Yeah, squirrel meat's disgusting.
We'll make a little stew, some chili
yummo.
damn things. You know.
Leave the squirrel in the forest.
Yeah, exactly. Leave the damn thing alone, right? If it's not, you ain't going to eat it, leave
you
the shit
want
alone.
to shoot clay pigeons or you want to shoot squirrels?
Clay pigeons.
There you go.
Well, there's a look at the insane life of my father.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about a couple shows and movies we saw earlier this week. I wish that Adam Sandler could still once in a while pull out like a water boy.
He's a long way away from
I know.
that. He's a long way away.
So I kept seeing the commercials.
That's almost 20 years ago,
I
I'd
know,
argue.
it's so sad. I kept seeing these commercials for the week of. He plays the father of the bride. Chris Rock plays the father of the groom. And some crazy
He
shenanigans.
always shoehorns in his crew, too.
Yeah. And I thought maybe, and it was terrible. I sat there the
guy
2 hours. It
the
was
guy
terrible.
sucks like Jim Carrey. He's
Jim Carrey. Oh,
He's got a new show coming out.
He's trying to make
Kidding
a
on
comeback
Showtime.
now, too.
Yeah. Adam Sandler's lost it. I don't know. Maybe he's just cashing in and gonna retire.
Is it a movie?
It's a 2-hour movie.
He's done a handful now for Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're all terrible.
Did he have like a X amount of picture contract or something?
Yeah, he had one about a Western, and it was terrible. I made about 10 minutes into that, and I turned it off. This one I made to the end. I'll give him credit on that one. I made to the end.
Oh,
on
congratulations!
This one.
You finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. Wasn't a laugh to be had. It was just not good. I don't know what he's doing.
What's the premise of it?
He's a cheap Jewish father.
Okay.
And Chris Rock is a high-end heart surgeon, and he wants to pay for the wedding, but Adam Sandler refuses to take his. So it's him nickel-and-diming a wedding, and it's just like craziness. Yeah. Like he puts them all.
Yeah, wow, it's quite a premise.
All the
isn't it?
people from out of town, he puts them in a cheap hotel that he helped build because he's like a. I
So he
forget
can
what
get a
it is.
hookup at.
Yeah,
or
and the
something
ceiling
like that.
starts leaking, so he moves them all to his house. He ends up with like 100 people at his house sleeping, and it wasn't funny. I was hoping it would be funny.
Oh, thank you for handing me your empty.
Well, that means
Do you want another one?
Yeah.
Jeez, apparently blueberry ale for the old man's delicious.
Well, if you have a little bourbon to go with it,
So
Disgusting.
stay away from Adam Sandler and anything on Netflix. It was not
He
great.
sucks.
Yeah.
He just sucks. There's
He's
no
not-
use for him.
You want him to be funny. That's the problem
Yeah,
with
yeah,
him.
He's
that's-
not funny.
It's like you've talked about it before in the past, like the George Clooney rule, where like it must be fun to be in George Clooney's like inner circle and like film his movies, but to watch his movies are awful.
Yeah.
And I think Adam Sandler's in the same ilk.
Clooney.
His movies are terrible.
His movies are awful. You
I
like George?
know, he's awful.
But what I'm saying is like
But he
it
makes
must.
tons of money. I don't
Yeah,
care.
and
Well,
he
that's
always
'cause
gets
the
these
women
crazy
love him.
movies, and yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, Adam
Yeah.
Sandler, man.
I haven't watched full episodes, but I come into the room when Holly and Michelle's watching it. What is your problem with America's Got Talent?
So here's the thing: they put like 60 acts through to the live shows or whatever, and the issue becomes you don't know who's going to be on, and so they have like quarterfinal, semifinal stuff. So like the TV schedule every summer gets super confusing, and like you're waiting for certain acts that you kind of enjoyed, but then it wasn't on this episode, and then they're cut, and then they have to have like the Dunkin' Donuts save every time, and then they cut. It's just
The sponsored.
it's
save.
just annoying. So they take
You
these
watch that show?
I don't watch it.
shocker. It's not a History Channel.
I don't watch none of that crap.
Well, and again,
I hate the dance groups.
yeah, I do too, and
Cut
I'm
them
with
all.
you.
I
And I
hate
hate a
all
lot of the singers because I'm like, go on American Idol. But like the magician thing, and then the guy that was juggling the trapeze where he dropped his wife was amazing television. But and again, you're waiting for him to come back or that crew to come back and maybe drop his wife again. I don't know what episode it's on. So like you turn on America's Got Talent, and it's just there's so many acts and they whittle it down so weirdly. It's just a hard show to follow. And then all of a sudden, like next week, I think is a season finale, and I'm like, wait, how do we get here? Like I don't understand.
My complaint about it is it seems like every year it gets longer and longer. It started as like a summer show. Now we're like mid-September
Mid-fall,
before it ends.
yeah.
It's like cut this thing shorter.
And like I said, I think they let too many acts go through.
America's
or
Got
something.
Talent. Not one judge is actually American on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
And Simon Cowell's now nice. I hate that.
He gets nice later on in the show, like as the show goes on and they whittled it down.
He
Like,
seemed nice from the beginning.
yeah,
really.
I don't know. He's
He's
pretty
not
good.
the old Simon Cowell.
I enjoy the show. I just get frustrated because I'm like, I don't remember what happened to so and so, and then Heather will go, "Well, that was 2 episodes ago, and I don't know what happened." You just can't follow.
What's going on?
Yeah,
The
it's
flow of it.
super hard to understand. And like a lot of the other shows, I think it's because they let too many people through. I think they need to do a bigger, massive cut and then have a better format to it or something because
And
I just.
shorten it. And why does Tyra Banks look like she got out of the shower?
She did look a little wet. I don't know what's going on
What is going
there.
on? They dump a bucket of water on her before she goes out of stage.
They flash dance her before she gets out. I don't know.
I don't
but
get that either.
Yeah, and she's kind of boring as a host, and like she
Yeah.
always models strutting. It's just
When you
I
want-
like that show a lot, and that's a show that myself, Heather, and Lorna all watch together. And like I said, the only thing is just what happens to a lot of those acts? I don't understand.
So, America's Got Talent, weird scheduling, and of course, you have no desire to watch it, right?
No.
What's going on in the military channel?
So what is Flipping Out?
Flipping Out is a great show.
Flipping
Out is a Bravo.
Out. What the hell is Flipping
I'm going to explain that to you right now.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Yeah. So it's a Bravo TV show, and it's about this guy who lives in California, and he started out as a house flipper, hence the term flipping out.
Yeah.
But he's like this OCD, like he has this eccentric way about him, but he also has like a lot of the show is surrounding like his personal life and his crew that he always has around him. And so basically he does like these super high-end homes. So he buys like these $11 million houses, and then they show you the process of him doing it. And then he was doing design consultations, but then he also has drama of like with his housekeepers and stuff like that. He's firing people left and right. It's a great show for like not only just like the standard flipping. It's a great.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's been on. It's like 11 seasons in. It's that crazy.
11 seasons in what country?
I believe in the United States. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And
So it's like every other flipping show, but they follow a little bit of the drama.
It's a lot more of the drama of his actual life and stuff like that. And then, like I said, he's not your he's not your average house.
Getting heckled at our own podcast.
Yeah, I know. This is the joys of bringing out an ornery old man. But I'm telling you, it's a great show. It just premiered. Season 11 premiered last, I believe, just this past Tuesday, and it was on.
I'll be sure to miss it. Yeah.
You're not tuning in for that one?
I'm telling you, it's a good show.
Your TV
man.
doesn't
You're
go to the
wrong.
Bravo channel?
Yeah.
Bravo channel. God, no. Who watches the Bravo?
I watch a lot of Bravo stuff.
Oh, God. I thought it was just fat old Polish women. Come on. That raised you better than that. Why the hell would you stoop to such...
I like that channel, and that show
Lord.
is good, and you're wrong. I'm telling you, watch Flipping Out, season 11, just
God
premiered.
almighty.
Check it out.
So the next one, Dad, you might actually be interested. John McCain, For Whom the Bell Tolls. When's this come out? It's a documentary on HBO.
It actually premiered in May. They filmed... Basically, it was a documentary about his life, and then it was right after they came out that he was 86 with brain cancer, and all that stuff was going on. I'm sure the old man recognizes that now because that's something he can actually relate to. But so it was great because you don't realize, like, you hear like that he was like this crazy war hero and all this kind of stuff. He was like in Hanoi in like a terrible POW camp.
Yep, the Hanoi Hilton.
Oh my God! For like his kids didn't even know him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
wow.
his kids were like 3 and 4 when he got like shot down, and then it is an incredible thing. But this documentary brings you through his military service into how he becomes a senator, and then a lot of like the times where he ran for president. And all this stuff, all the while, it was like current to his life. They were showing his struggle with the brain cancer and all that stuff. It's a great documentary, and I learned a lot. Like, I have more respect
you're
for
gonna
him.
watch this?
I already did. It was great.
You watch it?
Yes.
Wow.
You got to cast a broad net if you want to, enjoy this podcast.
I guess so. You're growing up. What the hell?
Oh my God, it was fascinating, and just to see. Number one, what he went through, and then number two, he had a ton of integrity. I mean, like, way more than any politician I ever knew of. I mean, like, there was something that after 9/11 came up, where, they didn't want to let, like, certain, like, long-distance flights fly into D.C. because of the fuel that they would need for these long-distance flights, and he pushed for this bill. So then after that, when he did... Like, he wouldn't take a direct flight to D.C. for that reason, just to prove his point. And he didn't do it for, like, 30 years. He didn't take, like, it was some crazy, like, he's just, I gained a lot of respect for him, not knowing, like, his complete story. I know they had, like, made, like, a made-for-TV movie of his, like, his time in Hanoi and all that kind of stuff, but this was the facts. And it's a fascinating documentary, and it's on HBO, and it's called For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah,
John
because he's a man, unlike all these other dirtbags they have on television.
I mean, I didn't like they chronicled when he ran against the second George Bush, and how that campaign got dirty and all that kind of stuff, and then it when he ran up against Barack Obama with that idiot Sarah Palin and all that kind of stuff. They chronicled all that. Oh, yeah, Captain Republican all of a sudden just showed up. But again,
that was why he lost, right? Because of Sarah Palin. If he didn't have her, he might have won.
Yeah, I mean, and looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, I really would have considered him. You know what I mean? Like dude had a ton of integrity. And that's why I think with his passing, all both sides of the aisle or whatever, annoying Republicans and Democrats all kind of came together because everyone respected this dude. I mean, like Joe Biden, Captain Democrat.
Oh, that jerk.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree. But, one of his best friends was John McCain. You know what I mean? Like, and because of, the integrity the guy had. And that documentary, I cannot recommend it enough. It's a great documentary.
So avoid Adam Sandler on Netflix or pretty much anywhere in life. America's Got Talent.
Figure it out.
Runs a little long and has weird scheduling issues. Flipping Out, season 11. If you want to see $1 Million Homes get rebuilt and some drama apparently with his crew.
It's great stuff.
And John McCain, documentary. Dad, you going to watch John McCain if you catch it?
Oh, sure.
You even have HBO?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go into cable TV because that's what a sore subject there.
Oh.
I do have HBO.
Did you just kick another cable company out of your house?
Huh?
Did you kick another cable company out of your house?
Not yet, but it's coming.
Which one are you? You have WoW currently, correct?
Yeah.
And then you were experimenting with Roku and cable cutting like we were talking about.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Yeah. So it's time. It's time to tell your wife and her mother.
Next June, the contract's up, I believe.
Oh, so you're under contract for X amount of years with it? Oh, wow.
I mean, it's not as expensive as Comcast is. But
what do you pay a month for WoW?
$129.
And that's with internet, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that gets you HBO?
Yeah.
HBO and HD stuff and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I could switch it over to Showtime if I wanted to.
What's on there? I don't even.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing ever really
That's
on
about
HBO.
it.
Wait for it to hit Netflix. You know what I mean?
So
Showtime doesn't have much.
So because I use Netflix and all the time, I don't bother with HBO. I'll look, nothing on it.
Yeah, well, if you get a chance, check out that John McCain thing.
The other one you should watch, and I know you don't like wrestling, but the Andre the Giant documentary on there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Andre.
The Paterno movie we talked about too
Joe
is really
Paterno,
good. Yeah, there's a handful of cool things that might even appeal to you.
Tell me, does it bother you that most kids nowadays don't even know who Andre the Giant is? Does it bother you?
No, not that much. I know what you're saying. I'm getting old. I get it.
Yeah, the kids look at you like, who?
Well, as usual, we're recording this at about 6 o'clock on a Sunday. So we're going to recap a little bit. No real upsets besides Charles's Pittsburgh Steelers, who
And
cannot-
again, I
has
talked
no
about
defense.
it. I was totally worried about the constant chuck the ball deep offense, and here it is.
Yeah.
Week 2, and they've yet to win a game. We got a tie and a loss, and a bad loss, I'd say, today, because Kansas City really put it on them.
Yeah, once you mentioned it, though, they did say laser arm about Patrick Mahomes
my God.
about 50,000 times in that broadcast.
Dan Fouts would not shut up about the laser arm
He
the
laser
whole
armed it
time.
right in there for another touchdown.
It's just, I mean, and the guy had like 6 touchdowns or something crazy. He had 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
I don't know where what school did he play for? Texas Tech or something?
Sure, we'll go with that.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird school. He didn't do nothing in college, but apparently he was a diamond in the rough.
When we started recording this podcast, New England had its hands full with Jacksonville.
They were down 21-3.
Yeah.
Lions, of course, were losing 13-7.
Yeah, last I saw it.
Yeah, so they may or not came through with that one. So since we're not really going to see those, we're going to cover Sunday night. Tonight we got the Giants versus the Cowboys. Dad, who you like in that game?
I'll go with the Cowboys.
Really?
Oh, they look so
I
bad
hate
week 1.
anything from
They
New
look
Jersey.
atrocious week 1. They lost the run game, the one thing they kind of
They
had
scored
last
8
year.
points in week
They
1.
were terrible week 1.
I don't care. I hate anything from New Jersey. Jets and the Giants, forget it.
Okay.
I hate them.
That's a rule of thumb he lives
rational
by.
thinking, I guess.
It works for me. All right.
I like that running back New York, Scott, the guy from Penn State. He's pretty good.
Saquon.
Well, maybe, but
He's not down. He's
I know. I don't.
New Jersey, apparently.
There is no give on that. If it's from New Jersey, no.
Now, on Monday night, before the season started, I thought the Seahawks would win this. But Seahawks versus the Bears, Bears look pretty good against Green Bay.
They really put it on them until the end, until Rodgers made some miraculous comeback.
Limp leg comes out. So what do you think about Monday night, Dad? Seahawks or the Bears?
The Bears.
The Bears?
Yeah, I like the Bears, too.
Yeah.
The Khalil Mack stuff looks really good for him. I mean, boy, oh boy.
Fumble recovery, touchdown.
Yeah, you can't ask more for that.
Yes.
Yeah, you know. Got to have some hope somewhere. You can't have it with the Lions. You might as well have it with the Bears.
So do you think the Lions can turn it around at all this year, or are they pretty much done?
Nah, I think it's over. Their season's done.
By week 1.
It's done. Come on, it's gonna be the same old crap like it is every year.
Well, they're rallying against apparently Matt Patricia, the head coach, is trying this like whole hard nosed Bill Belichick way of practicing or something. They were talking about it on 97 won the ticket all week. Yeah. How he's grinding the hell out of them. But like, it's one thing if Belichick does it when you stand a chance to win championships and all this kind of stuff, but then you're killing these guys and they're like,
you don't have the owner for that.
Yeah,
the Fords aren't going to support you on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Fords will side with their players,
and the players are pissed.
Well,
they are not down with
they
this.
don't want to do a damn thing. You know, it's typical Lion.
Yeah.
We just want to collect the check and go home. That's all the Lions have been since 1957. That's going to change now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
The only way they're ever going to a Super Bowl is to buy a damn ticket. And that is the bottom line.
I guess let me ask the question then. Should they blow up the team? Should they start all over? What is going to correct the Detroit Lions according to Dave Markey?
Sold.
You want new ownership. You want everything.
Exactly. You need an ownership who knows to win.
Okay.
Nothing but bottom line is win. You go to the Super Bowl. It's all that matters. If you don't want to do it, you get out. And the Fords are not going to do that because they use the Lions to sell cars, to do their charity.
Get that Matt Stafford F-150.
And then all the idiots in
got to pay for the Rock.
Fill that stadium up every time. They need to stay home.
You're saying just abandon the product and let
let it go.
As soon as it stops being a cash cow for the Forge, you think it'll finally...
sell them to like Birmingham, Alabama or something.
To Birmingham, Alabama.
And get
the Birmingham Lions.
And get a new owner and start a new team up from scratch with a new tradition and be done. Get the Fords the hell away from
You want the biggest reset possible.
It's got to be done because it's been 1957. They haven't even... The only way they got there is just they got tickets for it.
Oh.
They never get close.
Well, they close with Wayne Fonts that one year in 91.
Yeah.
Now, Wayne Fonts, there's an exceptional man. His brother driving around naked going through the drive-thrus because he's overloaded on cocaine.
So, what do you think if the Illiches bought the Lions?
It wouldn't do no good. The Illiches would run it the same way. They're out to make
the
money.
Illiches, yeah, because they're doing crazy stuff with the Tigers at this point now,
not
too.
Not only that, they're going to hire Iserman to be the general manager of the Red Wings.
I thought he's at the Lightning or whatever
Quit.
it is.
He
resigned. So everyone hears a buzz.
Now, isn't that a
my
coinky
God.
ding? Isn't that a coinky ding?
Oh, wow.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh,
I don't follow hockey at all.
No, I don't either. Who the hell cares about hockey?
Yeah.
Well, is that un-American as well?
Well, it is. It's Canadian. That's but no, I got time. I got to spend my time with college and pro football. I don't have time to deal with the Red Wings or the Pistons or any of that.
I like a little Pistons stuff every once in a while. So the same guy that owns the Lightning or whatever owns the Pistons, correct? Is that
Gores?
Yeah, the Gorches or whatever that is,
I
or
don't know.
I think
You're talking about the guy from Cleveland.
No, you're thinking of Dan Gilbert. That's the Rock Financial guy.
Yeah, he owns
he owns all of Detroit.
He owns the Cavaliers.
Yeah. And all of Detroit, except for a sports team.
That's true.
And I think it is. I think the Lightning owner owns the Pistons as well. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone's going like these idiots, Gorich or something like that. And they're all like, these idiots don't know what they're talking about. Why are we listening?
Yeah, no. Oh my God, I'm going to talk to Mike
We
Valenti. These
don't
guys are-
care. I got to concentrate on football. Got no time for
So there you go. Soccer's un-American. Hockey is Canadian. We learned many things today, man.
All right, you got
And everything from New Jersey.
If you
sucks.
Yeah,
got
New Jersey is a
time-
complete
You
turn.
got time to deal with hockey when you're dealing with football.
No, I don't.
Well,
watch-
there you go. It's a
I
bottom
don't
line.
follow hockey till about the end of April when the playoffs start. And I'm like, oh, I'll watch.
Well,
the
I'm
playoffs.
kind of the same way with basketball because that's my issue and even with baseball as well. A lot of these sports don't get good until the end of their season when actually the games matter.
Yeah, baseball needs to cut about 80 games off.
Every other sport, that's the one thing that and I hate when people talk about like adding more games to the regular season in football. Like, no, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Like, the intensity's got to be there.
Well, they want to make more money.
But yeah,
And they eventually want to bring Mexico in. They want to bring Europe
yeah,
in.
the international ball game.
So you
yeah.
will have to extend the season when you start bringing other countries in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that answer though. And then you can't cry player safety and then talk about wanting to extend a season at the same time too.
Well, yeah, like the Buffalo Bills were supposed to go to Toronto.
Yeah,
isn't
they're
Buffalo
trying to.
like across the pond or like right
Yeah.
across a lake from
Again.
Toronto?
Buffalo is a scab on the United States ass.
Okay, well,
So, why
what in Buffalo? Who has such an opinion about Buffalo?
Why are they a scam on someone
Take
there?
the
Those people
Bills.
love that sports team, though. The Bills are
All right, there's
revered in
12
Buffalo.
people in Buffalo. They're excited. Okay, I agree. But move them to
God.
Toronto and where they'll make some real money.
Well, I guess. But side note, did you see the empty seats in Pittsburgh Stadium?
Yeah, it was
today?
weird. It was Steven and I
Did
talking.
you see that?
It didn't make sense because they're playing the Chiefs. You know what I
don't
mean?
know why they were empty. That was kind of weird.
It was. Yeah, it looked like it was missing about a
Because
quarter
the
of the.
people in Pittsburgh, unlike the ones in Detroit, have standards. So,
and
you
they
know.
tied the Browns. People were out.
Yeah,
Wow.
That was it. They ain't gonna
I should be able to get some
tolerate
cheap ticks late in the season.
So there you go, folks. A little look at the NFL and why to hate New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of reviews here. Dad, yeah, are you aware of the new Spider-Man game that came out for the PS4?
No.
Okay.
That's a huge shocker.
That was
Everyone's listening to this going, no, he didn't know. Oh, that's amazing.
No, I didn't know and I didn't care.
Huge big game came out. PS4 Spider-Man. Really good game.
Now hold on, made by Insomniac Games, the same guys that make the Ratchet and Clank games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also made Sunset Overdrive for Xbox.
Yeah. So again, very well thought of game studio made that game.
It's an open world game, probably the best Spider-Man game I've ever played.
Does it
down.
get repetitive?
Yes.
As all open world.
The
games?
main story doesn't. It goes
Side mission
and I
fetch
will
questies.
say it's not about this is the part where Dad zones out. It's not about
We'll wake him up in 5.
It's not about the Green
let me know when
Goblin.
it's over.
Green Goblin or Venom. It's about Dr. Octopus and some of his other villains, which is kind of a nice change because most Spider-Man games have to have some kind of Venom or Carnage in it. So this one doesn't, which makes it nice. It does get repetitive, and they borrow heavily from Batman Arkham Asylum. They basically
so that's
took,
the Rocksteady game,
yeah,
correct?
they basically took Batman and put Spider-Man over him and said, there you go, which isn't a bad game to
I was going to say,
copy.
people love those Arkham
Those
games.
are good games, but they're not quite the groundbreaking thing. Some of the side missions are really lame. You got to chase pigeons in New York.
Are you doing any kind of photography stuff? They love
Yes.
photography stuff in
It's
Spider-Man games.
It's optional on the side.
I get it.
But,
It works for the paper or whatever,
Yeah, and
but
there's-
I don't care.
Well, in this one, he's a scientist. He doesn't work for the paper, but his girlfriend, Mary Jane, works for the paper. So someone works for the goddamn paper all the time. Even though the papers are all going out of business, in Spider-Man's world, everyone still works for the paper. So, I mean, it's a good game, good voiceovers. But, yeah, it does get a little repetitive on some of the side missions. They're like chasing pigeons and chasing down backpacks is a little lame. And they tie that side stuff to your upgrade. So you got to kind of do it.
You have to do it
if
yeah.
you want to unlock the
to
other
progress
Spider-Man
in
suits
certain
and stuff,
areas.
yeah.
Yeah.
But everything else is good. The story is good. So
How long is the main story on the game? Like, how long would you say?
I'd say 15 hours.
That's pretty good.
It
Yeah.
took me a week to get through it.
Was there known shippable bugs in this game? Did it have some open world jank?
I didn't personally run into some. There's some camera angles because he can climb everywhere. So your camera goes a little crazy at times, and it's hard to control them. And some missions you
he
got
was half asleep.
some missions you got a timer where you got to chase the bombs, and when the camera's getting out of control, it's hard to get
Know
there.
where you're going
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Other
yeah.
than that, not really Not like Madden.
How does it look? Does it look awesome in 4K and stuff like that?
Yes, looks really nice. And even when you're on buildings, like you could see through the windows and see the inside.
Oh, they
of the
fleshed
building.
out a lot of the
they really
world
did.
and stuff like
Where
that.
a lot of stuff was just, back in the day,
Yeah.
you're just kind of
Every window was closed.
Yeah, every window was tinted. There was nothing
Yeah.
inside it. But here you got to see stuff in it. And there's robberies that happen inside buildings. So you go to the
Oh,
building.
so you can literally change that locale, go into that building and stuff like that.
Not deep, just like one room in.
That's still
but
cool, though.
Still, they did put a lot of time and effort into it. Definitely a solid 8 out of 10, I would say. If you like superhero
And
stuff.
something tells me this is going to be a beginning of a long trilogy or something.
They're probably
they're
gonna do
gonna-
3 or 4 of these games.
Yeah, by
I would
that
guess.
second or third one, it's probably going to be awesome.
Even this one ends with a little bit of cliffhanger. So it's just the start of the trilogy, most likely. So there you go, Dad. Go get you some Spider-Man. The swinging's really fun. The swinging, how they control his swinging.
Is it easy to control?
Yeah, you just hit R2. And he comes down.
It
you
is
let
like
go and
certain
hit it
points
again.
he'll pop to. You don't got to really
And
babysit
you
it.
can hit X where he'll shoot forward a little faster and stuff like that. And you can do tricks where you're in the air and all kinds of stuff. So a lot of fun. Good game. Thumbs up on that one. Definitely give it 8 out of 10. Not a ton of bugs like Madden had, so even better on that one.
Yeah, known shippables.
Madden, when I first played it this year, man, there were some issues. Guys would shoot off the screen. There was some crazy stuff going on. They fixed most of it, but then. So the other thing I did this week, and I was worried about it, but it actually turned out pretty good. I went to see Amy Schumer live at Casino Windsor. You familiar with Amy Schumer, Dad?
No.
Okay.
Great input.
She's a female comedian. She's usually pretty
She's
raunchy.
really popular.
Yeah,
she's a side talking comedian that I cannot stand. So she's one of those chicks that were like, yeah. So anyway, I was out yesterday, had an abortion. You know what I mean?
there's
Like
a lot of
I
those,
don't. She's not funny to me. Steve's a big fan. I know she's immensely popular. Not my cup of tea at all.
A lot of there's abortion jokes, dating jokes, sex jokes, stuff like that.
And then I love how I'm just not a good-looking girl, so everyone goes and compliments her and stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't. I'm not an Amy Schumer fan.
I tell you, her stand-up's 18 times better than her movies.
Well, her movies are god awful. So
So there was 3 girls. There was a black woman off of Last Comic Standing. She came out and did about 20 minutes. She was pretty good. She did some jokes about dick pics and stuff like that. And how us guys just take any picture and we should like try to do some angles or some doilies.
some angles.
Yeah, or just try to make it more theatrical and where we don't care.
Up your dick pic
Yeah.
game. Okay.
And then Amy Schumer came out right after her, which I found weird. 'cause
She was a mid card.
yeah.
Wow.
And she did about an hour. Crowd liked her and everything. The only thing I found weird, because she came on so early, people were still coming to their seats. So
But that's their fault. I don't get these people who show up like fashionably late. If I pay good money to, I'm showing up. I'm seeing the whole goddamn thing. I don't get
Did
people.
you actually pay for these tickets?
yeah, it was for Michelle. I bought it for her birthday. She's
How
a big
much are
fan.
the tickets?
You don't want to know. 130, 100,
You paid for that?
136 bucks a person.
Ah.
Tickets
I tell you,
are
the last
crazy
comedian I paid
nowadays.
to see was Rodney Dangerfield.
Great.
And that was a class act.
1987?
Yeah, exactly. This is back to school tour.
I will say the one thing I told you before, the main comedians I don't like is when they repeat their stuff from before. Because I saw her.
You didn't want to hear anything from the specials, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
she had one joke about borrowing a tampon that was on her specials. Everything else was new.
Okay.
God, borrowing.
I mean, if you're paying $130, I don't want any rehash either.
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
much?
that's
130
yeah,
bucks.
130.
So I
When
think
was the last time you went
it's
anywhere?
like 270 for me to go see.
How
that
much
girl.
do you think those idiots are paying for those Tiger tickets? You know what I mean? They're paying top
I got
dollar.
those for free.
Yeah, I know, but the people that go to those games are paying good coin.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but hell, the NFL's got.
No, I'm talking about Tiger tickets, Dad.
I'm talking about it. Football tickets are higher than baseball.
Yeah, you know how much I told you $175 for the Notre Dame game this year.
Yeah, I know.
It's unbelievable.
And of course, Notre Dame figures they're up on the NFL's level. So.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
You see that
Tickets
game?
are no.
We'll talk about that
yeah,
later. but
tickets are
anyways.
no joke. So 136 sounds crazy, but I believe it.
Yeah,
you know?
you know.
They were good seats. We were right on the row, and we were only maybe 30 feet from the stage. So
That's
I mean,
cool.
They were decent seats, but yeah, they cost me a little
Yeah,
bit.
there's nothing you can do about it, man. You
But-
want to go somewhere, you're paying.
I don't want to go.
well, that's you.
Yeah.
Your wife will make you go anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then Kim calls.
But then the last act,
Could
this,
be.
this woman comes out. Her name's Bridget Everett. If you ever get a chance to look her up, 300 pounds, huge blonde woman. And she's like Sam Kinison. She comes out like Sam Kinison and just screaming this song and rips her shirt off and her tits are flopping everywhere.
What?
I swear to God, she's some kind of comedian / cabaret lady. And she just came out and she went out in the crowd and like sticking old guys in her chest and just motorboating them.
What?
Yeah, it was nuts.
That was the bonus plane.
That's what $136 get you.
She came out.
300-pound titties.
Yeah, she
Get
came
the
out.
hell away from me.
It was funny. I'm not gonna lie. It was crazy though. Me and Michelle were like, what is this? And she puts a little girl up on stage and then just sits on her face and starts grinding on her face.
What?
It was crazy. I'm telling you, you will not forget her at all. It's like when you hire one of those big stripper women to come and beat up your buddy.
Did she tell jokes or was it just situational?
It was just more situation. She sang songs. It was like,
This sounds kind of awful.
yeah. I'm not doing it. It was funny, but it was just most of it. You sat there going, "Is this really happening?" And it was like interactive to the crowd. It's very reminiscent of Sam Kinison mixed with one of those big cabaret women.
Okay.
It's what it reminded me of. She's drinking wine and spitting it on the crowd. And it was pretty crazy.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Well, we were back far enough. We didn't get spit on. It was crazy though. Bridget Everett, look her up. It was pretty crazy.
That's all right. I'll pass.
I tell you.
But
once
now,
you see that train
so
wreck-
you guys went to Casino Windsor,
Yes.
and now working in the hospitality industry, that casino just came back from the whole building was shut down for months on strike.
Yep.
Was it back to normal? Did it appear weird?
It
or?
looked no different than when we were there a year ago to see Penn and Teller.
Oh, okay. So
only thing I will
again,
say-
they shut the building down.
When I'm there, they give free pop. They got Schweppes.
Schweppes. That's
Schweppes.
ginger ale?
Yes. But it must not, all I got was carbonated water when I got my
Oh.
Schweppes. I
was
will
gonna
spit
say,
it out.
It's club soda.
That's what you got for drinking Schweppes, number
Last
one.
time when it was good, this time wasn't so good.
Oh, man.
But the worst part is that bridge. Have you been across that bridge?
I haven't been to Canada in a
Oh,
while.
Christ. We got there at about 5:30. Man, it's just truckloads of semis. It took 35 minutes to get across the bridge. And you went across it doing 5
Why'd
miles
you
an
go
hour.
across the tunnel?
Because I know where the bridge is
I would
at.
take the bridge, too. I would be with you.
Well, on the way home, we thought we were going to
Is there construction or something going on?
No, there was no construction.
It's just regular bridge traffic. Took
Yeah,
you that
it
long.
just took
Well,
that
you
long.
went now. The one thing
It was
you're
on
not
a
mentioning,
Thursday.
yeah, you went on a weekday.
Yeah, it was weird.
So I'm assuming a lot of that traffic existed because it was a weekday.
maybe a lot of trucks and stuff coming. I don't know. So the way there, I got stuck in rush hour. All right, I'll take that. The way back, it's 10:30.
Still
By the
sucks?
way, the tunnel closes at 8 now. I had no idea it closes because I went to go there.
You
They
were like,
no,
oh,
it's
audible to
closed.
the tunnel?
Yeah, no. So you can't go to the tunnel. They close at 8 o'clock, which is weird. And so I went.
Did you get pulled going over the border?
No.
No.
I got a hand.
Chubby white couple in the.
Yeah, I got a
they
hand-
were like, keep it moving, chubby white couple.
Yeah,
We're good.
I got an enhanced license. Michelle has a passport. Got right through, no problem.
Okay.
But and on the way back, we got stuck for another 35 minutes. I don't know why. It's just terrible. That bridge is terrible. And the best is you're stuck on this bridge at a dead stop, and the semis are moving past you. And you just feel the rocking
like the
of the
rumble
bridge.
of it?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
man,
terrible.
that's sketchy.
You're on a 100-year-old bridge that had tons of trucks
Yeah,
on
exactly.
it. You're just praying you don't die the whole time.
And Steve was on Channel 4 News.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like was the bridge. Everything else I liked.
So
Amy
now
Schumer.
I don't know if your boss listened. Did you go to work the next day?
Yeah. I
Oh,
showed
you
up.
to it to work? What time did you get home?
Well, we got to the bridge at 10:30. We got home at about 11:15.
Oh, so it wasn't too bad. It wasn't a
Yeah.
late night for you that much.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Because surprisingly, Amy Schumer started right on time. A lot of time those acts like to make everyone sit.
Yeah,
Like
really
Penn and
build
Teller-
up the
Yeah,
experience.
Penn and Teller waited till everyone was sitting before they came out. And it took a while, but
Mm.
Amy Schumer was right out there super quick and got it going.
Yeah.
not
So
too
what
bad.
would you recommend, Penn and Teller or Amy Schumer?
I liked Penn and Teller better.
Yeah.
They even came out to the crowd like afterwards and greet people.
Oh, that's cool.
Amy Schumer's gone. She just.
I'm not an Amy Schumer fan. I do not dig it.
She's okay. She's laid back. Yeah, kind of. I don't know if it's a word.
I don't want to be dad in this situation. I do not like Amy Schumer.
He agrees.
What the hell?
So now we're gonna move on to yesterday's. Did you see any games yesterday, Dad?
Hold on, let me play. I got another intro.
Oh yeah, sure.
How
go
dare
ahead.
you.
Sorry.
Intro.
Oh yeah. Wait till you hear this.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
Yes. What do you mean? As a Notre Dame
Nelly
fan.
timer, 5 minutes.
There's your
Starting
Nelly
now.
time. It's when in 2015 when Michigan State snapped up that
He's playing upset highlights.
yeah, this is my
Oh,
second week of Michigan
I was
upsets.
gonna say, where does this come into?
I got one more.
So did you get to see that Stellar Notre Dame game yesterday, Dad?
Vanderbilt?
Yeah, did you see that?
I only seen the score.
You didn't watch it at all?
Oh, you were in Holland, right?
Oh yeah, you were out of town.
Oh, another turd sandwich.
Yeah, they really are. I'm telling you, man.
They play a real
Who do they
team,
got
they're
this
gonna
week
get killed.
coming up?
Is it Stanford?
If
No,
it's-
Wake Forest. It's
Wake Forest,
But
okay.
it's at Wake
Ah,
Forest.
So they're
Wake
still going through that ACC kind of, well, Vanderbilt, you know what I mean? But that ACC stuff's starting to pick up. So
Well, that depends if the
Now-
hurricane is gone. I don't know because Wake Forest.
Yeah,
it's
it's Carolina.
Soggy, you know?
So the big upset of the weekend was the Mormons marched into Madison and put it on the Badgers.
Yeah, did you see Wisconsin lost?
No, I did not. I
what
didn't get to see much.
You
of
didn't
that
watch
stuff.
ESPN or anything the next day? The other thing to discuss too, besides his lack of college football, TCU's offense is insane. So the problem is, like, they're a prolific offense that you can't keep pace with, but then they take no time off the clock.
Yeah, I
They
know.
let these opponents crawl back into these games all the time.
Did you see that kick return with that guy laying in the end zone? That was so slick. Too bad they screwed that up.
Yeah, I think TCU, if they could have took that game, but then it just, again, you ran 78 plays in 4 minutes, so it's like
Yeah, did you see that one? Ohio State won late.
he didn't watch any of this. He has
I
nothing to
didn't.
contribute.
Because I was wandering around Holland. What can I tell you? I go by a bar and I'd be able to catch a few scores and see what's
Yeah.
going on, you know?
And then the LSU Auburn game was really good too. That was
Yeah,
an
LSU
afternoon
beat
game.
Auburn.
Yeah, it was last
won
minute
that?
stuff there too. LSU won. Ed Orgeron pulled it out. Yeah.
Get the ball.
Yeah.
That's how their coach talks.
It's and then there was a bunch of other, like, I'm telling you.
The Big Ten lost 7 games.
Yeah, but again, Wiggs is shaking his
he
hand.
gave up.
Oh, finally, he's
Wiggs
coming to
finally
the
said, "I
dark
can't
side.
defend that."
The
Yeah.
Big Ten sucks.
The Big Ten does. It
Yeah,
has
and-
lousy football.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Compared to the SEC?
Yeah, they
It's
don't
horrible.
want. But okay, so now this weekend coming up on Saturday, big test for Jimbo, because again, I'm riding the Texas A&M bandwagon as we talked about last week. Texas A&M, Alabama is this weekend coming up on Saturday. Alabama looked incredible.
31-14 Alabama.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm
Team's
telling you.
ridiculous. They're up
Dude,
35
Alabama's
to like
crazy.
nothing on Ole Miss in like 2 seconds.
It was crazy. I can't,
It's
I
like,
can't.
They're not even fun to watch. It's like,
it's just,
this is just
and again,
ass
but I thought
kicking.
the TCU Ohio State game was good.
Yeah.
That Bama game was terrible. I mean, that was just a drubbing. I was like, this is-
Texas USC was interesting.
I
Texas-
didn't even turn it on.
Texas beat
USC looked so bad in that opener versus Stanford.
I think Fox is like the USC channel because they're on every week on Fox.
they love like a deep Pac-12 game. or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
like and then
Here's a
USC just
Stanford or
0 for 2 on prime time with USC.
yeah.
But I don't know. They could still beat Notre Dame because
Yeah.
Notre Dame looked terrible.
USC. Who cares?
Okay, great.
Everything from the West Coast is retarded. too.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
USC, UCLA, who the hell cares?
Chip Kelly's
Yeah,
in
I was gonna
UCLA.
say you got Chippy over there,
And you got
UCLA.
Herm Edwards at Arizona State.
Yeah,
Well, Arizona.
That's what Arizona's okay, but
I don't know, man, but
No one's beating Alabama. Everyone's just playing to get
No.
slaughtered by Alabama.
my hope is that I'm telling you,
They're
I'm
just
all in on the
victims, is
Maggies.
all they are.
What's that?
Everybody that comes up against Alabama is a victim.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
That's all.
the
there
one
is.
thing is
pounded.
Alabama will always do something dumb, and then
They'll have one brain
where
fart
it's like,
game.
yeah, like, and all of a sudden the Tagliavovo guy or something will just shit the bed one game.
How many vowels are in that kid's name?
I can't even begin to.
It's
But
like-
he was
it's got like
throwing.
8 O's.
You talk about laser beams. He was throwing. I was like, this is crazy.
Everyone's
You
got laser
know
beams.
damn well the Lions couldn't beat Alabama.
And just-
They couldn't
I might
even
have to
come
agree with that.
close.
Yeah, 'cause
but
it's-
I don't know. And like I said, the big takeaway for the weekend for me was TCU could have done something if they just could do some
Pump
kind of
the
time of
brakes a little
possession. But it's that up pace.
That bad,
yeah.
That bad shovel pass they did where the Ohio State defensive lineman intercepted for a touchdown. They tried to get too cute on that one. Oh man!
And Nick Bosa guy like broke his nuts or something like that. And,
he was on the sideline.
They were pointing. Oh,
Your 1 timer is done.
how many Bosas are there? I know there's one.
well, Joey Bosa graduated, and
even
he's on,
played
and
for
then
the
Nick
Chargers
Bosa's
today
out.
either, I
Yeah.
think. So there you go. A little bit of look at the college. No one's beating Alabama, and Notre Dame still looks like crap, and Big Ten's falling apart. So there you go. There's your recap. I mean,
And I'm all in on A&M.
Is for some reason. Anyone named Jimbo?
Yeah, following Jimbo to the
Is
promised
Penn
land.
State for real though? You think Penn State's a real deal, Dad? Or
Out of the Big Ten?
Sure.
What's it, Trace McSorley or whatever?
yeah.
They seem to be. But who did they play this past week? They had Pitt the week before.
they played some scrub and they
Yeah,
won
like
59-10 or something.
Louisiana Monroe or something.
You see Nebraska, they lost.
Yeah,
to Troy.
Scott Frost is really banging around.
Nebraska lost?
Yeah, to Troy, the University of Troy. So they're a little ways off before they get their rebuild going.
Oh.
So then we'll go a little bit of news here. And Dad, I know you love the Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah,
Couldn't care less. Don't even know.
great input. Great input.
So tons and tons of remakes are coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
And
they had their Nintendo Direct thing, and I guess one of the articles that I pulled was, so for the first time, those beloved Final Fantasy games are finally coming to the Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo console.
These Japanese role-playing games that take 64 hours to beat. I don't know why everyone loves them.
People love them.
I don't know why.
So they announced that it will be Final Fantasy 7, 9, and 10 in some kind of remake capacity is finally going to make it. And again, if you've got 70 hours, that's probably 180 hours of content that you could enjoy. Not my cup of tea. I don't want to wait till I'm
180 hours. Who the hell has got 180 hours?
some kid somewhere.
Probably your granddaughter during the summer.
A child does.
Holly puts that much time into Netflix.
But again, people are stoked that they're showing up on the consoles. And Final Fantasy 7, man, people just love it wherever they can consume that. They're just
100 and a quarter, I think.
yeah.
Well, a
and
lot of
that's-
people never see it at 1,100 because they just roll it into their monthly bill.
That's what they got to subsidize.
Yeah,
them.
well,
they
they roll it in there,
and-
and they paid $2,000 for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what it paid for.
Makes
They
them
paid
feel
$2,000.
better. But the point
because
of it
there's
is,
those iPhone Forever plans and all that kind of stuff.
they've
and-
got to have it, and they will have it, no
Yeah.
matter what. Kids.
Yeah, I don't know, $1,100.
And I'm talking
for
when
a
I
cell
say
phone.
kids, I'm talking about 30 years old and down. They got to have it.
There's a lot. It's back up.
Yeah,
We're back on live. Nobody's watching.
You
now.
didn't plug it in.
Oh. Well, cameras work better when they have power.
Yeah. Oh, Dad just punched himself in the face with his mic.
Almost.
Hopefully that's online so everyone can see
I
that.
hate phones.
So there you go. We got new games coming to Nintendo Switch that are actually just remakes of 30-year-old games. And the iPhone costs you $1,000. Don't worry about it. Just add it to your monthly plan. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's
what
$80 a month for that phone.
Now, Dad, I listened to, or I should say I watched Good Morning America all week and the week before. I don't know why. It's on in the morning. Michelle turns it on. But they've been covering Florence, the hurricane, for weeks. And there's been announcements everywhere.
I've seen it as early as like Monday.
Yeah.
So like Monday, and then it was supposed to hit at the end of the week. It was supposed to hit Thursday, Friday.
It was actually on Good Morning America a week before that, too. They've been monitoring this thing for a long time.
And it was slow moving. It was only
Yes.
moving like 5 miles per hour.
So
or something like that.
everyone in the United States knew that this thing's going to hit the Carolinas. And they told everyone, get out of your houses and go take a vacation for a week because you're going to be screwed because you're going to be up to your butthole in
They
water.
were talking about 3 feet of water, like on Monday.
So my question to you is, do you feel sorry for the idiots that didn't leave their houses and stayed there and drowned?
No, because they stay there and they have hurricane parties.
What's a hurricane? Is this like a key party? Is this a
No,
swinger thing?
the people who don't want to leave, they all get together at one person's place. And
die?
Exactly. Because
What?
nobody has basements there. So they're all drinking. And they all just pour it in. And if the water busts through the sliding doors and takes them out, oh well, so be it. But they have hurricane parties.
Oh,
And
my
they
God.
stay there. And then they figure that somehow the army or the police, somebody's going to come and get them if it gets that bad.
I find it just especially anyone who has a child is just completely irresponsible. Like one of the first articles I read was a mom and like an infant kid died. And I'm like,
why didn't you leave?
yeah, I mean,
I know
you
if
have
you're poor
to.
or whatever, but
I
come
get if
on.
you're 22 and you don't give a crap and you're going to sit there and drink some blueberry ale and watch the water pour in the front door like you're describing.
Yeah.
But if you got a kid, man, you have some kind of responsibility to like do
Kids,
what is
dogs, cats, they all end up drowning because they're
They're
owners
only
didn't
saying
leave.
11 people have passed from this so far.
Sure they
but-
will.
But how many were on their roofs afterwards?
Yeah, like how many of them be rescued and
it's
stuff.
so
I don't
annoying.
understand.
Getting
Like to
over a
me,
hangover, waiting for that Coast Guard helicopter to come and pull them off the damn roof because they were assholes.
I don't
and
know,
stayed
man.
there.
I like I told Steve, I'd rather be alive in Oklahoma in my car than you know what I mean, like struggling to live in my house in one of the Carolinas. I don't.
See, what they don't realize and they don't think of, you can't access any money you have in the bank. You know, if you need money, you can't get it. You can't find any kind of food. You can't find gas. And what gas is in those tanks is half full of water.
Yeah, you couldn't use it if you wanted to.
They don't stop to realize just how bad it is when the sun finally comes out and you can see nothing but water. You can't even buy anything to eat.
3 feet of water.
And
There's not a
all
house
those
on the planet
snakes and gators and other bite-type animals.
that bite type. Those bite
They
types, you know what
come
I'm talking
out,
about.
and they could be in your home when the water recedes.
Well, I can tell you this. So again, I work at a hotel. It's 400-room hotel. It's on the larger side. And when we have fire alarms that go off, you would be shocked at how many people actually get the hell out of the building. Because they just sit there and they call down. Like to me, like you have to have some kind of like thing in your head that says, there's a fire alarm, I need to get out. I'm not waiting for someone to call me and go, yes, you probably should leave. Because I got news for you. If there's really a fire in the building, if they expect me to tell people to leave, I'm already gone.
Well, I had that in New York, and Las Vegas.
Don't ask, just get out.
The fire alarm went off.
Did you get out?
We just got in a room, and I told her, I don't know if it's for real or not. Just grab your shit. Let's go.
That's what you do.
And I walked down the hallway to where the elevator was, and the guy was standing there and said, false alarm, go back to your room.
And that's okay. So if you're told that there's no issue with that, but to your point, you were evacuating until told otherwise.
Yeah, because I really didn't know.
You were probably, did you turn around and there was no one else near you?
No, it was just me and her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So no one else evacuated. It's the craziest thing. And I
it
don't
went
know.
off about 5 or 6 times that day.
Did it really? Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know what their problem was.
I can tell you it happens all the time. But again, you shouldn't wait for someone to tell you to get out. And especially in this situation with this hurricane coming, they were told to get out, and that they still were like, I
Not gonna
can't. I don't know, man. That's lost on me big time. I don't know.
Yeah. So, and then of course before that, last week we were laughing about how reporters have to go and there's been reporters standing in front of the hurricane.
Yeah. Did you
And
see
the
the one that was
wind
really
blowing.
good where the guy's like trying to fight the winds and then there's 2 guys just walking behind him like
Yeah,
normal?
normal, yeah.
That's so good. I loved it. Yeah.
It's like, oh man, what is the point of these reporters standing there? So, before I forget, you remember Rich Rice? Rich, if you listen, how you doing?
No, he's not, but okay.
I know, but he moved to North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And he's like a manager of a Home Depot.
Okay.
He stayed. And he went to work the next day.
He had to secure the store. The lumber
I know.
that's in 3 feet of water and floating out the front
He
door.
posted on there that he
Was it dry? Was it water in the Home Depot?
His house got messed up pretty bad. Like the whole tree got uprooted.
Well, he works at the right place. He can definitely get a tarp.
The Home Depot, they were missing power for a little bit, and then they had an electrician come in, hit the generators, and they were fine.
Wow.
Home Depot had little to no damage on it, but his house was. But then he's like, I like to thank the few people that came in. My ass wouldn't even come in anyway.
Dude, there's no way. And
who's coming there to buy stuff?
so I, again, I work at a hotel, and we have these scenarios. So again, I work in maintenance, and every year we work our way through a scenario, an emergency scenario. So in theory, we make the mistakes there and not when it's really happening, right? And one of the scenarios one year with like terrorists were I got yelled at because I'm like, what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cry and crap myself is all I'm gonna do. I am not helping anyone. I'm not working. I'm punching out, grabbing my car keys, and walking to my car. That's it. I'm not doing anything. There's too many jobs in this country that I'm going to show up at Home Depot when a tree's in my house. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm not that guy. I'm not a superhero. I'm a tubby guy who talks to his brother once a week on a podcast. I am not doing that.
Yeah,
it's just not that.
They really did a terrorist scenario.
And people were talking like it was Die Hard. Like, they were like, what we're going to do, And I was like, you guys are out of your mind. I go, the police are going to be in charge of everything. When you bring up
There's no police there.
No, what I'm talking about, like, okay.
At the airport, there's nobody there.
What are you talking about? There's police everywhere.
The Wayne County
everywhere.
Police.
So, again, imagine if something were to jump off at the airport. Do you think that the general manager of the hotel is going to have any input in anything?
No.
There's going to be federal agents, border patrol people that are all armed,
Eventually.
and this general manager thinks he's going to like orchestrate something. Like, just shut up. There's no one listening to you.
What was he saying you guys should do?
Not him. It wasn't. I'm just
fight the terrorists?
saying. No, but like the one front desk manager's like, what we got to do is we got to establish communication. I'm like, there's no one to communicate because I left. I'm telling you, man.
That's what I told him at TSA. I'm gone.
Dude, I'm telling you, I can get another job. I've got enough skills.
Doesn't
I'll see you
bother me.
later. You know what I mean?
I knew where the doors were and I was on my way out.
There's these people that are, and like I said, my boss literally got pissy with me because I was just sitting there like, are we really talking about this? Like, we're going to do anything? I'm like, I'm going to go out and hide behind a garbage can. That's all I'm going to do. Don't look to me to do anything.
I just go out and make my way to my car.
No, and get out and go home,
That's it.
right?
What are they going to do? Are they going to fire you?
And to your point of your buddy who went to the Home Depot, there is not enough lumber in the world to make that important. In his priorities to me, if I'm his family,
he's got two young boys, probably. About
you're messed up in the head, dude. Like, your priority is this retail establishment who has insurance on all of it.
Are they even going to record his hours?
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
There's no way. They have no power.
Like, dude, get a life, man. Like, you got young kids at home.
And I wouldn't have went in.
And again, more power to him. I mean, he'll probably look at me.
Roads are flooded. Washed out.
Yeah.
So you're going to trickle across here.
And here's the thing, like, because it's like that, too, like when the snow hits hard here in the winter and stuff like that, and people are like, oh, man, so-and-so called off. This wasn't that bad out. Who cares, man?
Every time.
You know what I mean? Like, you think I'm going to risk anything to come here? Like, this is my priority in life?
I went in the one time that it snowed so bad. They had one flight that left for Jamaica. One Spirit.
Did you get on the flight? Yeah.
Otherwise, I stayed in that damn checkpoint for the 8 hours, did absolutely nothing.
Getting overpaid at TSA.
And then what happened? They turn you loose. Now it's up to you to get through that snow.
Yeah.
To get back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, this is stupid. Why did I even come in?
That's what I'm telling you. And like I said, like, again, this isn't that important to me. You know what I mean? Like, my falling apart house and my family inside of it is 10 times more important than some lumber at a Home Depot. Crazy, man. People are just wired differently.
Well, they had a big sale on interior paint that week.
Who was and like, let's be honest. So you're telling me he's a store manager of, let's say, store 2002 or whatever in whatever Carolina.
I don't know.
Who was even coming in?
I don't know. How would they get there, on a boat?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
So why even go in? And again, that company has insurance on all of its product and its building.
Yeah.
What are we talking about, dude?
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
So there you go. Plenty of warning. Don't. I'm going to sound a little callous or insensitive, but you had warning for weeks to get out of your house.
I mean, there are some people who legit style, like if you had like animals or something like that. I mean, But like able-bodied people who have a full tank of gas in a car, get out of Dodge, man.
Yeah. And you have to have some relatives outside of Carolina somewhere, but if not, how much can a hotel?
I'd live in my car. I swear to you, I'd be in Oklahoma on the side of the road, peeing in a bush, living in my car. Not doing it.
I'd like to thank Dave Markey for being on the podcast.
You should thank me.
Great.
You can catch the podcast on iTunes or Google Play, and of course on fatguyslittlepodcast.com. And you can check out our new YouTube channel. It's a little bit of a train wreck still.
Yeah, Steve's got the resolutions to mud. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So until next time, I'm Steve Markey and
Charles.
We'll catch you later.
Fuck me. Those things. It's like I spent all day at the gun range.
You didn't
My
plug
ears.
it in.